Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Now the first carry for Adrian Peterson. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
It's a pickup of 17 on that one and a Bills first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. On play action, Allen. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room that if you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 24, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of 1. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now Allen throwing on 2nd down. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, When you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
And that's a run that will energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Allen going to throw. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. He'll get only 2 there, and it's second and goal.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Stepping up, fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out, and the Texans scoop it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Jerry Hughes able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3. From the gun on third, Watson throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
Good as a save.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't have to make contract time.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. All right, now, look at 56. Look.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way.
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Well, this is one of the downsides of being a rookie quarterback. You know you're going to get called out about everything you do that goes wrong. Here, maybe he's a little uncertain about where to go with the football. And at this level, uncertainty equals turnovers. And this one winds up being intercepted.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at about the 32. After the interception, here's Watson. Completion left side to Miller. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. Give him 8 on the play, and it's a 2nd down. Out of the gun, Watson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans have taken the early lead. It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found him downfield there.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize, but when you finally hit him and he carries it all the way into the end zone, That's what you're paying him for. That big threat that can make big plays on a limited number of catches.
That's how you step on the stage with your first catch. Take it to the house. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Back 99 Philly. Here we go. Here we go now. 3-19.
Allen going to throw again. Shakes off the sack. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at a first down. On first down, Allen. Here's a screen to Powell. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Now Allen again. Benjamin with it over the middle. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Detroit! Detroit! No. Check. Patriot! Patriot!
To throw again, Allen. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. The Bills passing game, getting them down the field. They've got another first down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Allen. Looking for his tight end, Clay, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Trying to get it to Clay that time.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. Took that in one-handed. What a grab. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves that you'd wear in the diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it, and here we are today.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again is Watson. Flush to his right. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. So they took a shot there on 3rd down. Couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
On 4th down, Watson. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration.
Come back, come back.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Bruce Ellington, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. Fairbairn now to add the extra point. Extra point hitting the right upright, but it caroms home, and it's now 14-0. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Allen escaping the pressure right. Looking sideline, incomplete. They were looking to get it to Kelvin Benjamin there, and it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Here's Allen to throw it. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick, and he'll return it to the 24-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here, but he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
Back to throw, Watson. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Bruce Ellington with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And again, it's no good. A few boo birds coming out as he's missed his second extra point here in the first half. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. On the return, here's Marcus Murphy. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And the Bills getting set to go. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and if I would keep having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. On second down, Peterson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's third down. They'll keep it on the ground, this time with Charles. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
But there's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. Watson on first down. Trying to improvise. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So the illegal forward pass also costs him a down, and now it's 2nd and long. Now Watson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter, because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
A really good pickup of 28 yards. They go play action here on first down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. That's caught inside the 20. The Clemson connection. Watson to Hopkins for a big one. 52 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Trent Murphy. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now it's Watson. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. Oh, now he bowls him over. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all. And now they're looking at third down here. Watson now to throw. Underneath for Miller. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Kaimi Fairbairn now to attempt the Texan field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And how about this? It's complete. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Texans will extend their lead. And it's up and good. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because it had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
Leopard! Leopard! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. This complete to the tight end, Clay. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Allen looks to throw on 2nd down. They'll roll him out right. It's complete right side to Benjamin. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Throwing on first down is Allen. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. The 4-time All-Pro, J.J. Watt. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
A final shot before half for Allen. He's going to look deep down the field. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the second, well, this is taken in. It's complete. A gain of 32 that time. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
On first down, it's Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. Whoosh. And now running right through it. He got 29 yards that time. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game. And the Texans turn that interception into a touchdown. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to.
Now he'll be hit from behind, and he has landed on hard. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney. In from his linebacker spot, he's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Going deep for his tight end, Clay. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And here comes the Texans now. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
that is
by the
one
time
positive.
we have to leave the booth.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Watson to throw again. Setting up the screen for Miller. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. From the red zone now, Watson. And it's caught. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Well, if you're going to give him that kind of time, he's just going to shred you.
You might as well put a sofa out there for him. I mean, that's unbelievable, because I don't care who you are in coverage. With that amount of time, someone's going to shake free, and he's going to be able to throw the ball with a whole lot of confidence.
They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Lamar Miller, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans add on. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And now out come the Bills. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They try to fire up the run game with Adrian Peterson. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. On 2nd down, Jamal Charles. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. On the tackle, Tyrann Mathieu.
Well, after that stop, you know that 3rd down is not a gimme if you're on the offensive team. So what are you going to do? Run it again? Or maybe you go play action and try and throw the ball and pick up the necessary yardage.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll run it. Here's Peterson. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. The 1st down carry here for Charles. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo 1st down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Leopard! Now let's go! 3-19! Back 99 Philly, here we go!
Now the 1st carry for the former Jaguar. This is Chris Ivory. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
Here we go now!
They pitch it to Charles. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Detroit! Leopard!
Short yardage situation. Here's Charles. And he's got some space here. Past the 20. And he'll be down deep in Houston territory. That one good for 33 and a 1st.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4 down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said...
Back 99 Philly, here we go!
Now a handoff. This is Charles. Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different. Try some specials.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Allen. And it'll be intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Where Brandon Pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I'm without speech. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. The Texans on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. A shotgun snap for Watson. Then he's got the completion to Hopkins. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. Watson now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Trent Murphy in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Murphy, Charles, missed all of last year with that knee injury. Says he feels healthy. He sure looked healthy there.
Had 9 sacks in his last full season, 2016. Can also cover people out of the backfield when they run pass routes.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Shaq Lawson in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, here's Watson. And he's going to go down again. Shaq Lawson in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way.
And, my goodness, another interception. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard. Line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48.
Come back.
After the interception, here's Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trent Murphy getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Operating from the gun, Watson. Ellington has it, middle of the field. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in. The Texans send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play caller. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. A first throw for the backup Peterman. And Jones has it over the middle. And he's able to get up here to the 26. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Detroit! Gun! Here we go now. All right, now. Lucky 56.
From the gun on 3rd down, Peterman. And that is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just a little.
They've got his man complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. They give him a gain of 37. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. And Watson's going to throw it here. He's going to air one out. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
Come back, come back.
Again, it's Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Gates has it over the middle. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Now Watson. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The storyline in this one, Charles, no